Hey, welcome to the Tony Gomez Show. Thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. Tonight we're doing a live edition of the Downbeat, and we're going to be talking about music news and newest releases and local shows that are going to be going on here in Corpus Christi at some of our favorite bars like Boozers and House of Rock. And today I have on the show my guest John Luna from Knife Party and Conscientious. ¿Qué pasó, John?
What's going on, Tony Gomez? Thank you for having me once again on the Tony Gomez Show for this episode of the Downbeat. Everything that's going on, like he told you guys, in music news and current events and local shows and stuff like that. Thank you for having me once again.
Oh,
let's have
absolutely.
some fun.
Appreciate you being my guest on the show again tonight. It's been a great week, man. We had a good rocking weekend. I had a chance to play on Saturday over at the Exchange, and we had a great show with Fistful of Metal. And earlier during the day, I was at the Rock and Roll Flea Market, and I got a chance to see a band I hadn't seen before called the Young Classics. And it's a group of teenagers from maybe the oldest one might be 19, 17 and 19-year-olds, and they did some bangers, man. They did War Pigs, they did some Ozzy, they did they have a female singer, so they really sounded, really great, doing like Joan Jett, doing No Doubt, doing Barracuda from Heart, and a great band. Did some Iron Maiden too, so it was a rocking afternoon. And did you play last weekend, John?
Last weekend, did we play? What?
Because I know you got a lot of things going on during the summer with Night Party.
Yeah, Night Party. We're playing this weekend, but man, you kind of caught me off guard. I was gonna ask you, going back to that Young Classics.
Okay.
Is that a band derived from is that a band derived from the Chicas Rocks music school?
You know what? I don't think they are. But when I was over there, I got to meet like probably 3 of the parents, because they got tremendous parental support. And I tell you, they're really all great musicians. And I think I got us a keyboard player. His name is Nomar Roman. He is the man. He's going to do keys for us at the Christmas show. I saw him.
Nice.
They came out with Separate Ways from Journey, and he just came in there just already headbanging, going at it. I was like, oh my God. So I kept my eyes on him. They did more Journey, and he's got a knack for it. He plays guitar and bass too. So he's got the whole setup right there. And
that's tight. That's cool.
So big props to Nomar and the whole band, Young Classics. They're up and comers. They seem like it could have been something that might have got started out of Los Chicas Rock, but out of the 5 members, 4 of them are guys. The singer's a female, and they're probably between the ages of 17 and 19. But very impressive, very impressive. And what I was surprised to hear, they already played Brewster Street. They already played Mesquite live like twice, opening up for Idol and Motley Crue. And these guys are hustling. So proud of these kids. So
nice.
Much props to them. They may be contenders for maybe an opening act for the Twisted Christmas Spectacular over here. Which I talked to Casey. I got us a date. So all you Harbor City All-Stars that may be checking us out or listening to the show, the date is going to be Saturday, December 23rd, back at the House of Rock for another Tony's Twisted Christmas Spectacular. And God willing, maybe we'll have a special surprise at the very end. And we'll get to that news later on too. But
I've heard of the Young Classics. That's why I brought that up, and I've heard a couple of them, a couple of shows with their name on there, and I was like curious whether or not they were from the Chicas Rock family. You know what I mean?
All right.
That's cool that you saw them. Let me one more thing. The Rock and Roll Flea Market. How often does that happen?
That happens once a month. I'm glad you asked. On the second Saturday of the month.
Okay.
And, man, I'm a vendor over there. I've got my own personal collectibles over there, my own personal vinyls. 80% of them are still sealed. I don't even want to open them. They're just like, I love that. I love it all. And you're wondering why don't you listen to them when you buy them? I listen to them on Spotify. So I get the album and I just kind of like, oh yeah, I love it. I don't want to touch it anymore. I just want to put it up there and like, yes. But anyway, I did really good on Saturday. And thank you, Ralph, Cat House Ralph, for putting on the Rock and Roll Flea Market and the great crowd that we had show up throughout the day. I showed up there late. I slept in a little bit on Saturday. So by the time I got there at 11:30, the place was packed. And I was like, oh, shit, man, I'm missing out. I need to set up real quick. So by the time I brought in a couple of things of vinyl, before I was even set up, I had guys already ready to buy.
Oh,
Blood
cool.
Sex Magic from Chili Peppers, Jane's Addiction, Richard the Habitual, a lot of good ones, you know, for the 90s. I sold my Deftones Around the Fur vinyl.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I got the White Pony fold out double EP colored vinyl.
That's nice.
That's for the collection. Maybe
That's awesome.
Sign it since it's Knife Party. It's a White Pony. That would be tight.
Yeah. Going back to when you asked me if I played last weekend, man, you really I was like, wait, no, I got so many stuff. I got so much shit going on that I was like kind of wondering, but no, we played June 2nd, June the 3rd in San Antonio at Bond's Rock Bar with Devil P, the System of a Down tribute.
Yeah.
And the guitar player for Devil P, he's actually in a Megadeth tribute called The Punishment Due. And bro, those guys tore it up, dude. So they played the majority of Rust in Peace with a couple of tracks like Symphony of Destruction and
put some hits in there too.
Yeah, they put some hits in there, dude, but they tore it up. So keep a lookout for that. I want to bring them down. They're called The Punishment Due. Due. Yeah, bro.
Very cool. Thanks for the review on those guys, man, because Megadeth tribute band those are big shoes to fill in every position. You know, those guys are like the epitome of awesome guitarists, bass players, drummers. Of course, Dave's got that one of a kind voice, but it's always been top of the line musicians in Megadeth. You know,
man.
He hasn't had the luxury of Metallica always having those four members, but everybody he's had has been pick of the crop. You know, great.
I think that could be a blessing too, Tony, because every musician, every member that he's had is top notch, like you said, top of the line, and it's always cool to see, especially when you surround yourself with that type of talent in a band. It's always cool to see what they could bring to the table. You know, when in the context of, you know, a Megadeth or you know, a Testament, where you bring different, you know, wheels into the machine, and it's just, man, their talent it's undeniable. Like every member he's brought, you know what I mean? So I think it's cool. Yeah. With Metallica, they're lifers and they've been in the same role for 40 plus years. But I mean, talent wise, they can't touch Megadeth. You know what I mean? They can't touch Megadeth, bro. Sorry.
The Shred Masters, man. I know it exactly.
Shred Masters.
We do a couple of Megadeth jams, and Steve Pedraza from Fistful of Metal. He always says, "Hey, you know what? I love Megadeth, but shit, dude, those solos are a pain in the ass." So, you know, really go. They got some stretches going on there, and they're not a piece of cake by any means. So, Punishment Due, we'll be looking out for those guys.
That's sir. Yeah.
Well, let's hit music news. I want to get to my favorite band. When I came across this news that dropped today, I was freaking excited, but kind of bummed out because they're not coming to Corpus, which, you know, is what it is. But I'm talking about Hatebreed, and they announced their 20 years of Brutality anniversary tour, and they're going to have on that package, Terra is going to join them, a band called Vane .fm, and Jesus Peace, and it's going to be the 20-year anniversary of the release of The Rise of Brutality, which had all kinds of bangers. And it's going to start on September 3rd in Quebec, Canada, and run through September 24th and finish up in Florida. And they're not going to be doing the whole album in its entirety, but they're going to get some songs that and add them to the set from Rise of Brutality that they've either never played or rarely ever play live. So there's going to be some surprises on there, and it's going to be a hell of a show. You know, Hatebreed's known for having those 2.5, 3-minute bangers where it's all in there. You get all the heavy riffs, and then bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's all you need. And so they're able to stick in, you know, like anywhere from 12 to maybe 16 some odd songs a set for 30 to 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. So what I always love about Hatebreed is that energy that they bring to the table. And have you had a chance to see those guys before?
Hatebreed, I have never seen them live, but I've come close a couple of times, but just never had the opportunity. But it's like you say, man. Jamie Jossa likes to just keep that train rolling on stage live, so it'd be a killer show. You know, it would. You know, have you ever
Yeah.
seen them live?
Oh man, I've seen Hatebreed at least 5 times, and it's I got my picture on the wall right over here when I met Jamie Josta at Ozfest, and I want to say it was probably maybe 2000. It was the 10th year of Ozfest where we had Hatebreed, we had Judas Priest and Slayer on the main stage, and it was a hell. I almost want to say, nah, there wasn't that tour. I almost let it slip that Dragon Force was on the main stage, but that was a different tour. But
You know what? It's been so long. It's been so long,
right.
Tony. I have seen them, but it was a day that wasn't pleasant. It was at Tattoo the Earth in '99, or was it '98? Oh no, 2000. It was 2000.
Yes, an
Oh,
SA, right?
and it was so hot. And I think by see,
Dirt. Yeah,
I was
for the
uh,
mosh pit.
yes, yeah, yeah. You were there. Were you there?
I was there, man. I saw Hatebreed. That was the first time I saw him was on that tour, and
On the
that's where
on that small stage.
the small stage. Yeah, dude, exactly, bro.
Yes.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else was there? Seven Dust was there. Of course, Slipknot and Slayer headline. Oh,
Sepultura was there.
yes.
Mudvayne was there.
Yeah.
NWE was there. It was a lot of great, dude. That tour was amazing, man. So
That the thing that tore me on that tour was that it was in competition with Ozfest,
yeah,
and Ozfest had Pantera headlining. I think Godsmack and Ozzy. And as much as I wanted to see Pantera, it was either going to be one or the other because I only was going to be able to get out of town for one trip. But of course, it had to be fucking Slayer. And so when I saw Hatebreed, I was a fan for life. I just saw that energy and Sean Martin, the neck just fucking grinding on rhythm
yeah,
guitars, and Jamie just kind of hyping up the crowd. And the crowd already being familiar with the jams and just turning it into a dust storm. And man, I couldn't take it after a while. I had to get back. But
yeah.
it was
That was the
awesome.
same. That was the same with the Sepultura set, dude. It was just like a dust cloud, just like it was madness with that pit going on. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yes.
oh, but
Oh,
it,
great.
it was hard to get through. And by the time Slipknot came on at the end of the night, bro, it was, man, you were fighting for life, dude.
I know. Fuck
You
yeah.
were
I
fighting
was
for life.
tired, and I just had a fucking cold beer and I was near the back, just chilling. Like
Oh, bro,
I had my
we were little punk kids with no money, dude. So you know what I mean. We had no money. The waters were expensive. We weren't even old enough to drink at that time, and
oh,
it was just
yeah.
hard, dude. It was hard, but it was fun. But it was
Yeah,
hard, you know.
they're opened up for Slipknot, you know,
Yeah,
and it's there ain't no who's better, who sells more albums. The thing is, Slipknot was the big deal right then. They were coming up to their prime, and hell, they got fucking 9 members. They've got a big production. Slayer
yeah,
doesn't have any of that shit. Let
yeah,
Slayer go there and do their shit. I'm sure they weren't complaining. Who wants to play last all the fucking time? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
they're like, shit, yeah, we'll go ahead and line. Let Slipknot have the night. And fuck yeah, we'll go on at 9 o'clock, or 8 o'clock versus starting my set at 10 or 10:30. So
hmm Do you
any
remember when Slipknot came on? And they had the intro to "Sick," and I just remember the lights going crazy. But Joey Jordison behind his drum kit when he came up and he was doing his little like trance dance, you know what I mean, and getting the
yeah,
crowd hyped up. And I was just like, "Wow, dude, this is freaking! This is about to blow the roof off of like this place." You know what I mean? Even
history.
though it was outside, there was no roof, but still, it was just like, "Wow, dude, I can't believe it." And then they came in with "Sick," and it was just all hell
Ooh,
broke loose, bro. So
sickness. Yes. Great times, man. I mean, it's times like that that always kept us in the business. You know what I mean? Kept us, coming back with our original bands. And like, okay, fuck yeah, let's write some fucking shit. You get you fired up, and
it's always inspirational, bro. Always inspirational. When you go to
oh,
concerts like that, it just fires up that, that
that
will inside you.
creativity.
That creativity, man. It's like, hey, get it together, bitch. You know what I mean? You got to go in and
You're like, I
and
want to write an anthem. I want to write a hit. Let's do it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So
What do you got on your plate, John? Share some news with me.
Okay, so this weekend, actually in Kyle, Texas, right below Austin, so basically Austin, Knife Party. My Deftones cover band is going to be playing there at South Austin Beer Garden, and we're going to be doing an
Ooh,
extended set. It's just going to be us, so we're going to play a couple of hours there. It was a reschedule because the last month when we were supposed to play, it rained really bad. Well, no, actually, it was supposed to rain, but it really didn't rain. Do you
I
remember
remember
that?
the weekend. It was about a month ago, and it was
Yeah.
a big bluff.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was a big bluff. Yeah, I think it was the same for up north too. I don't think it really rained too hard. So
Yeah.
that show got rescheduled, and we're going to play it this Friday, and it should be fun. And the night after that, and that, like I said, that's with the Knife Party. We're gonna be
Yeah.
playing almost 30 Deftone songs. Come out, have a good time. You know, everybody who's near and
Oh, yeah.
around Austin. If you're in San Antonio, come up. Uh, I know a couple of people from here in Corpus are going to come up and just have a good time. And the day after that, here at Boozers in Corpus, we're going to have a show with my original band, Conscientious. And
Yeah.
so that show's going to consist of the Outraged. They're up and coming uh, all girl, you know, chick woman band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
play great. They play great covers. They have some. I believe they have some originals. I haven't seen them in a while, but the times that I have seen them, man, they bring it. They bring it. The energy and the style and just the heaviness. So they're going to be joining us on the bill. We have shoot, Kerosene Shores, my old singer from Fuse. That's his band he's had for about 6 or 7 years now, and they're finally coming up. They're finally coming down to Corpus because he lives in Houston. They're a Houston-based band, and
Okay.
They actually just cut an EP, man. Kerosene Shores. It's called Embers. And if y'all haven't yet, check it out. It's a great EP. It's about 8 songs, all originals. Bro, and I think every song on that EP is a banger. They're all anthemic, just bangers. Eric, he's a great vocalist, melodic and lyrically, and they just bring it like, you know, musically. And last but not least, man, I want to talk about my singer Hector Juarez, his son, H3. Hector
Yeah.
Juarez, the third man, his band Centipede is on the bill too. So they're
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
playing. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be opening the show. I don't know who's. I don't really know the order of it. But Centipede will be on that bill, man. So you guys come out to Boozers, check it out. Music should start around 8, I believe, and I believe it's an all ages show. I really don't know how much. I would think it would be about $10 admission. But dude, come out, you guys. Saturday night, Boozers. Boozers changed locations. It's actually on Airs now. I'm not really too sure the address, but it used to be. It's right next to that tamales place. I don't know the name.
Maybe
It's right by McCardo and Ayers.
McCardle and Ayers. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. Man, you
yeah.
got some good things coming up, man. And talking about that show Friday and Kyle, man, that's gonna be a hell of a gig right there, man. About
It's
30 Deftone songs. Man,
it's a lot, Tony. Yeah, we've been rehearsing and just trying to remember. Like for me, at least as a drummer,
yeah.
it racks my brain every day because I'm like, man, wait, do you really remember that, Phil? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like quiz myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I don't get it, I'm like, like I have to go back and like listen to the song, or I just try to stay on my toes with when it comes to Abe Cunningham's drumming from Deftones because he's not the craziest drummer, but he's got a style and finesse to him that nobody else has. You know what I mean? And that's what makes him unique and stand out in the music and metal world. And
Yeah.
so it's really cool, and it's really a pleasure to try and tap into that the Abe Cunningham. You know what I mean? And try to
Yeah.
just be that drummer for a duration, a period.
Step into
But
those. Yes, and
yeah,
get in.
so 30 songs, almost 30 songs, man. We're gonna have fun with it, and we're rehearsing tomorrow actually because Friday is a show. So
Good.
tighten up the screws one more time, make sure everything's good to go,
Yeah.
and South Austin Beer Garden. We'll see you on Friday.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Hell yeah. I love me some Deftones. And I love you guys throwing down Digital Bath. That's my
Oh,
favorite from those guys. And so I love it. I love it. Keep up the hard work. And Kyle, you guys are going to get fucking Deftonized. They're going to go over there and drop 30 bangers on you. So get out there and check it out. And everybody come out on Saturday over Boozers. Keep supporting them out there, Boozers. Tommy and Jessica, thanks a lot for keeping the bar alive, keeping the local bands, giving us a place to always jam. I'm going to get to some other things that we got going on at Boozers here in a minute. But let me get to something else. One of my favorite bass players is Duff McKagan. But it's not because of what he did in Guns N' Roses. It's just because I always dug the way he did his thing. And after having an interview with a guy named Blaine Cook, who's the singer for the band The Accused out of Seattle, one of my favorite crossover thrash bands, The Accused, are so fucking badass. Okay. Blaine's first, as a kid out of Seattle, was a band called The Farts. And that actually had Duff McKagan playing drums in it. And we're talking like 77, maybe 78, getting shit started like back then. And it just goes to show how much of a grinder this guy really is. And I'm bringing up Duff because he's got a third solo album coming out. And it should be out like October 20th. But he's just such a freaking grinder. He's an old school punk rocker that went from playing drums to playing bass because he just wanted to keep playing. And that's what they needed at the time. They had a better drummer. Another drummer came in. He switched to bass. And next thing you know, one thing led to another. And he moved over to LA. And Guns N' Roses become that. But Duff is a banger, man. What do you think of that guy?
That guy is, number one, his bass tone is top notch, bar none. Like, I love that dude. I want to say that guy probably has the best bass tone in rock and roll. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Use Your Illusions albums, bro. His bass tone sticks out like just a gem on those albums. You know what I mean? And so that's something I've always admired with him and his playing, and the fact that he plays with the pick too really articulates his playing. You know what I mean? So it's always like whenever I'm having a good time or just like having a few beers, man, I'll make sure to pop in one of those Estranged, dude, from Guns N' Roses, one of my all-time favorite tracks, bro. It's a deep cut, but it is, and just to hear his boom boom doom doom, it's just like it cuts through the mix so well. And I have this ongoing thing with just myself. Nobody really gets it, but it's like I always fuck around and just tell like, hey Tony, dude, the two heaviest rock songs ever is Perry Mason by Ozzy Osbourne. Rock and roll, mind you. It's on the verge of metal.
Okay.
Perry Mason, Ozzy Osbourne, You Could Be Mine, Guns N' Roses.
Okay. I love that. You Could Be Mine.
Bro. Those two songs are the heaviest rock and roll songs ever, dude. You know what I mean? It's like so fucking heavy, dude.
Oh my god!
It's like
it would not be my two favorites right there. Hell yeah,
dude! It's like when you hear the keys on a it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Here it comes, yes, and it's a rocker, man. Zach Wilde, riding the wrist for that, and I think you probably still had Michael Borden on drums.
Oh so, yes.
How does it get better than that? Dude, hell yeah. I think maybe even Riggs from Rob Zombie on bass. Those are bangers. Those are definitely bangers. And T2 theme song right there. Yes. Love it.
That epic drum intro.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it only gets better. It only gets better as the song goes. You know what I mean? It just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And Axl does that just, that epic, that line he does, whatever that, I don't know. I don't even know the lyrics to it, but just
I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. He holds that line out at the very end.
Yeah, man. Those two songs, bro.
Definitely one of their best jams.
Yeah. So sorry guys to go off on a tangent. I just had to go ahead and throw that out there for you guys.
No,
if there's any debate, I think those two songs are the two heaviest rock songs ever made. But that's just my opinion. So
I dig it. I love it. I'm gonna have to come up with two too. I'll try and think of it about next time we do another show.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Hit me with some other news. What else you got going on? I just shared a little Duff. What else you got on your plate?
Oh, just photography. Thankfully, thank God. a lot of people have kept me busy, and with photography, you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
actually started working with a realtor, so I did my first realty shoot, and yeah, man, thank you to Liz, a realtor in here in town. She kind of took me under her wing and had a belief in me, and just, hey man, if you want to do this, I got some listings for you. Um, and so like I did that, and it was a learning experience. I'd
sure.
never done that before. So there's different methods on how to do realty. You know what I mean? You would
Yeah,
think you just go in there and you just pop, 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 but there's different methods, man. So just knowing that that actually exists, and that the fact that I don't know shit, you know what I mean, was humbling. So I'd love
sure.
that, and the fact that I was able to learn something, and there is a lot to learn in realty, and so hopefully I just keep with it. It's a matter of actually how busy I am, man.
Yeah,
It's like the last time I was on Downbeat, I said I was trying to stay as busy as possible, and
right.
not gonna lie to you, man, it can get tiresome. It can get real tiresome. So yeah, like from then till now, it's kind of like every day something's going on. You kind of like have to take a step back and actually realize and tell yourself, hey man, like it's okay to just take a step back and even to say no sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
okay to say
It's
no,
hard,
bro.
it's
Huh?
so hard though, right? Because
Yeah,
we're hungry for every opportunity, and when they come across our table, it's like, ah, you put us on a. It's like I got a vacation I just planned. And at the same time, I'm thinking about doing a show. I'm like, oh, we might plan a show at Brewster, but I got this vacation. Oh my God, I don't want to be put in that predicament where I got to choose one over the other. You know,
hmm.
yeah,
And so it's okay to say no sometimes,
yeah,
Tony, and it's not going to be the end of the world. And that's something that we need to understand. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
something that
Good point.
we need to realize for our own well being and for the ones around us, too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
around it.
Yeah, because it's like, it's the same, man. Family first, and you got to take care of family before everything. And the ones that love you understand that, and the ones that don't
Yeah,
really care for you really, don't give a shit, man. So,
I
like I
get
was
it.
saying, man, it's actually been an eye opening. It's been an eye opener, and I'm going to try and actually like just, hey, take a step back and focus on the things that I actually love to do, and that's music and that's photography, but it's portrait photography. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and just things like that. Okay, Woody chimed in.
Is that Woody?
That's Woody. Yeah, that's
It
my
looks
guitar
like,
player, Woody. What's up, Woody?
what's up, Woody? Oh,
Yeah,
hell.
man. And some
Sometimes,
words.
yeah, he says sometimes the best way we can support those we care about is to put ourselves first. We can't
Yeah,
hold up our house if our foundation is crumbling. Great
yeah,
words, exactly, and well put right there. Um, exactly, you nailed it, man. If we don't have our own act together, and doing it right, it hard. How can we, really be that much of a resource for somebody else to kind of boost them up as well?
yeah,
We'll stretch ourselves thin. We
yeah.
really will. And it's important that we start adding the word no to our vocabulary.
There you go. There you go.
When we got to.
Very
Yep.
true. Very true. We're people pleasers, man. We're people pleasers. I think if maybe you
Yeah.
and me are the same, maybe I think our that's one of our love languages. You know what I mean? Is
Sure.
to see, to know that the gift that we have can make somebody happy, and when we do that, it's like we can get out of control. We can be like a happy dog just wagging his tail, just say, hey, whenever you want, hey, let's go, let's go. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
um, it is good, man. That's a lesson here from going forward is to say, say no every once in a while. It's not going to be a bad thing.
That's great advice. I think that could be something great I could pull away from something from today's
Yeah.
episode is
There you go, Chrissy.
trying to say no. You know what I mean? And sometimes, especially like if you got a band and you got a gig coming up, and I've been trying to get my band War Cold off the ground, and we've had some struggles, and it sucks because I've had to cancel a couple of great gigs, and because we just haven't been ready, and you don't want to go out there with your band if you're not ready. So I hate to cancel, man, but I just had some great people like from Slam Master Booking, Eric and Andrew that believe in me. personally that believe that whatever Tony's going to come up with, it's going to be good, and we need to put him on a show. And
Those
man,
guys are those guys are so awesome, man. And
they
God
are
bless Sam Master Booking, dude. That's
big time.
yeah.
And I got to give them so much credit for believing in me and giving me the artistic space to be able to, to book something in advance, because I'm having high expectations of my band. But if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world where they're like, okay, bro, that's it. You're cut off. You're blackballed. They're
Dude,
like, hey.
a
So
big reason why the scene is alive is because of those guys. Because they
yes,
believe in who we are, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And
mm,
they trust, not only trust, but they believe in us, man, and they give us a chance to display our talent and our music, man. So without them, the scene would be shit, man. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
just want to commend, big commendment to all the promoters. There's,
Right. I know
all the promoters.
Beat Down Productions. I want to say
Beat
it's Ed
Down,
Down. And then
yeah, Edward, you know what I mean, and Beat Down, and everybody, all the promoters, bro. Big props and big ups to you guys. And without
keep working.
without promoters,
Yes, keep working, promoters, because you guys keep us working. So keep it up. And Patrick with Destroy Productions, so
Patrick.
many that are helping out, and keep up the hard work. I appreciate the faith in all of our young talent, and all of our live music in town needs your support. We can't get enough, and the more we get, the better everybody prospers from all that.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me hit another note. One of my favorite bands from the '90s was Queen of the Stone Age, and they dropped a single today called "Paper Machete." And man, I jammed it. It's kind of like the old school days
Yeah.
of Queens of Stone Age. It rocks, great choruses, great vocals, man. Just one of my favorite bands from back then, and very eclectic and unique. And no one could copy Queens. There's a lot of bands that may try and simulate some other styles, but you can't do what these guys do. It's
Yeah.
just so unique. And I got a shot. On that single, they came with 3 singles on there, 3 songs, and another one is called Carnivore. And I really thought that was a cool play on words. It's carnivore and voyeur, carnivore. And so
Carnivore.
great jam. And then the other one that's also on there is called Emotion Sickness, and it's a pre-release for a new album that they got that's going to be available on the 16th on all video and all music platforms, and it's going to be called In Times New Roman. So it's almost like you're talking about the font in Times New
Mm,
Roman. So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, interesting stuff. Definitely check it out. New Queens of the Stone Age. Go to Spotify. It just dropped today, and give Paper Machete a chance and enjoy that jam. And
Nice. Josh Home, man, that's a unique
yeah,
voice in rock and roll, dude. So and Queens of the Stone Age, that's Frank, my bass player, that's one of his favorite bands. So every time he comes into town and we hang out and we're shooting the shit, man, we'll jam Queens of the Stone Age. He's trying to get me to start learning songs for the dead with that epic drum intro. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That I believe Dave Grohl did. I'm pretty sure Dave Grohl was
yeah,
jamming on that album.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. Off that epic that album, Songs for the Deaf, bro. So yeah, I think I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's just a matter of time, man, because that's an epic drum intro, dude. So I know
Yes.
Frank would love that. Maybe we can cover that at a Deftones show or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a driving riff. That riff is killer. That whole song's killer, man. That
That
whole
deep
album.
there would be a big surprise, man. People would love it. They can't get enough Deftones, but you hit them with something like there out of left field, and that's a hit. Shoot, fuck yeah, they're gonna lose their mind.
Yes,
So
sir.
speaking of like losing my mind, there's everybody must have heard about Nita Strauss by now. She's been kicking ass all over the rock world.
Oh,
She's just like a freaking shred master at the. She's been playing at the LA Rams games, at the Super Bowl. She played here last year, and just a great talent who plays also with Alice Cooper. And she just started her tour last night in Nashville, and
okay.
it's her new album's called "The Call of the Void," and it's coming out on July 7th. And she's actually got um, a lot of big heavy hitters on the album. She's got Anders Frieden from In
In
Flames.
Flames.
He's
Okay.
he sings a song with her. He's got Marty Friedman doing guitars on one of her songs. Vocals, Lizzie Hailstorm's on there. David Drainman's on there doing another song with her. Dorothy from Arch Enemy is on there.
Okay.
And
Nice.
also, what's his name? Chris Motionless from Motionless in White.
Motionless
So
White. She's got an all-star lineup there then.
she does, man. She's got a great, her solo albums are really good. I gave it
Did you
her
say
last.
Arch? Did you say Arch Enemy? Because that's a Lisa, right? A Lisa White Gluz, right?
I think at one point, but according to my info, Dorothy, and she got a long last name, but I just took a Dorothy from
Oh,
short.
okay.
But man, she got
Okay.
some hitters, man. It's going to be a
Yeah.
rock jam.
You
So
know
I
what's
haven't.
so cool about Nita Strauss's
But
the sorry to interrupt. What's so cool is that she actually has her boyfriend as a drummer, dude. And so the fact that they go around and
yeah,
jam all over, the States and overseas, but just the fact that she can look back and that's her dude jamming those drums, dude. And he's a badass drummer.
that's pretty awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
pretty
bro.
couple like that. I dig it. I really do. So, I got to give her props, man, because also on this tour, she's got a band called Lions at the Gate. And I just stumbled upon them and I realized that it's actually got three former members of El Nino. It's got on vocals, it's got Christian Machado. And on
Mhm.
guitars, they've got Aru Luster and Diego uh,
Disco.
Bervetco.
Hmm.
So some old school El Nino blood there and Lions at the Gate. So that's just
Yeah.
the opening act. So, more power to those old schoolers, man. But it's
I
gonna
don't
sound
know.
a great package right there.
I
Great
don't know if you
package.
know this, but their drummer is from San Antonio. Actually, his name is
John San Antonio.
yeah, Fernando Limes, bro. I don't know if you know Fernando's. He's got his own record studio. He used to
Fernando
jam.
at the Lions
He
at the
used
Gate.
to, yeah, he's their drummer. He used to drum for
Oh,
Silence the Messenger back in the day.
I've heard of them. Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
And then the
No.
singer for Silence the Messenger actually went to sing for Within the Ruins.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Badass.
So, dude, the fact that, like you said, they have the three members from El Nino, and
Yeah.
uh, and then the
And
drummer. I'm not sure who their bass player is, but Lions at the Gate. They just put out that single. I believe it's called Drain, if I'm not mistaken. They
yeah,
just
that's right.
released that single, and it's good, man. It's good. Christian, he's always gonna have that iconic Christian voice, man.
Sure.
It's what sets him apart. It's like every other good vocalist, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what
He
they have, and
voice that, it's all its own.
it's on. It just has a voice of his own, and Aru, fucking
Yeah.
amazing guitar player, great guitar player, and
Fuck.
Diego too, man. Diego was with El Nino for a good while, so it's good to
It's
see
good.
those guys jamming.
I
Although
have,
I was kind of I saw El Nino post today, and they posted something, and I was like, man, I don't know if that had anything to do with something about fake accounts, and it looked like there was some drama there, and I was kind of wondering what's going on. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I hope it had nothing to do with the with that other camp. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to start any drama or anything. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, there was. I saw that. I read that status that they put like something about fake accounts and fake comments and stuff like that. And man, that just sucks that people actually go to that length and try to belittle, and try to fuck up
Yeah.
someone's momentum. Because
Yeah.
on the other hand, on the contrast, man, El Nino's alive and well, and they're strong. And just
Yeah.
from being able to photograph those two dates, the one at Corpus and then
Yeah.
June 2nd in San Antonio at the Rock Box. That was just a
Ooh.
memorable experience. And man, thank you, Daniel Adame, the one that puts this show together. And thank you to Marcos Leal. And thank you to the rest of the El Nino camp. That was really cool. And I actually haven't even gotten to the photos from that San Antonio show, but that corporate show, man, that was cool. But it was really cool to be actually be able to be within the sorry, I'm going off here on another tangent, but it was actually really cool to be able to because at the Rock Box it's a bigger venue. Have you seen the show there?
Not yet. Not
Okay, well,
yet.
so it's a bigger venue. They had the gate. They had the gate that was separating the gate and the stage with the
Okay.
security.
Okay.
The fact that I was actually able to go in between the gate And
Ooh,
like me and Daniel were like kind of just switching spots and like going and like shooting
very
like getting
cool.
it. Dude, that was such a cool experience, man. And when they came out and they hit the intro and their side stage and you see everybody getting ready and Shavari's like putting his in ears right and he's getting everything ready and Rizzo's got his guitar and boom they hit it with the ammo I hate you bro and
Yeah. Oh
done, dude.
shit.
Marcos Leal goes and kills it, and it was just cool to be able to be there right in front and just have that experience, man. And that's just something I'm never gonna forget. So I just wanted to say thank you to
Look
Daniel
at
and
that. Look-
Marcos and the El Nino crew.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Daniel. Daniel Diamond. Keep kicking ass.
Daniel, man, Productions, baby,
Yeah.
love you.
Thanks for keeping the doors open and kicking doors open for guys like me and John to keep growing and
Yeah,
doing following our dream. Appreciate you, man. Love you.
love you, bro.
Let me
Love
get
you.
to another point here. I think it was just last weekend. Slipknot dropped a single for a song called Adderall with an instrumental version, an acoustic version, and an original with like two other songs that were on there, but they were instrumentals as well. Did you get a chance to hear that song? It's called
I have not, and well, I was kind of gauging it by what I was seeing online and like
Okay.
people's posts and just seeing what they were posting and by from what I saw it didn't look good. It was like
Right. Exactly.
what are they doing? Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what is this? And then
Yeah.
Craig left or supposedly left and then they get a new member
Yeah.
and I'm just like what's going on, And Weinberg gets a new mask. The mask looks cool. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw that. He got a new mask.
Yes.
But as far as
Yeah.
the EP goes and those songs that were dropped, I haven't had a chance to hear them. Did you get a chance to check them out?
Yeah, I heard. I went through them about 3 times, man, and whenever I think of Slipknot dropping something new, I'm always expecting it to come off fucking hard. You're gonna hear Corey, yeah, angry as fuck, and there's gonna be hooks, and there's gonna be a great freaking chorus. It may be a little anthemic as well, but this one is kind of like it reminds me of a different take on Vermilion.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's very dramatic. Um, and great vocals, very Pink Floydish in a way, kind of vocals, and almost um, Def Depeche Mode-ish in a way.
Really?
Yeah, and yeah, I read an article in regards to that Corey Taylor was saying, you know what, he's a big fan of Depeche Mode,
Mhm.
so that kind of was something he was kind of letting loose through one of the influences he was kind of letting loose in that track, and they just continue to be experimental and then putting 3 versions of that song out there and each one sounded very different on its own, but they're not fast, they're slow songs
A slow
and
song.
they're somber, they're somber, there's definitely not like no hype to them, but they're dark and atmospheric,
Mhm.
and they've got that Vermilion kind of twisted, maybe psychotic kind of a vocals and lyric thing going on,
I
and
got
it's okay. It's okay.
you.
I'm not gonna go on. And luckily, I got Spotify, so I get to sample everything before it comes out. But I
Oh,
know the guys from Slipknot aren't gonna put a whole album that's gonna be all of that. So I'm waiting for the rest of it to get the satisfaction that I'm waiting to get out of this. You know what?
okay. Yeah.
So
I feel
maybe
like that's just been their direction the past few years. I don't know if there's anything really to expect as far as the Slipknot fan. I think that they're just gonna keep trying to be as experimental as possible. Hector Waters with the Where's the Daniel Adame? He's in there. He's just behind the scenes. Heck, he,
yeah,
he's he's behind the scenes, man. He's the one that making this thing go.
yeah,
Shout out to my boy Hector, man.
yeah,
But as far as a Slipknot fan goes, man, I don't expect anything like monumental or just breakthrough-ish. I feel like they're just gonna try to be as experimental as possible, and that's like gonna let me piggyback on Avenged Sevenfold's new album.
very
It's like
good example.
very experimental and there's a lot of contrast with between fans. You know, they like it, they hate it, and
Yeah.
me, it's like my personal opinion. I would, it's like it's not it to me. It's not Avenged Sevenfold. It's like you miss those, you know, Hell to the King, you know, and
Yeah.
Nightmare and
Oh yeah.
uh Critical Acclaim and you know, City of Evil. You did the very anthemic songs. That to me,
Yeah.
that's Avenged Sevenfold. If they wanted to, they should have just came out with a side project and name and had a different name and said like, hey man, this is, we needed to get our creative frustrations out, and this is what we came up with, and this is the album. I mean, yeah, there's some good stuff on it, and it's very experimental, and they were, I think one of their explanations was that they were on psychedelics, or or some of the members were on psychedelics. So they had
Okay.
found a new lease on life, right? Apparently. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just what I heard. But I mean, they're amazing musicians, so the music is great. It just doesn't hit with me like the former albums, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Exist started to go into something like that. Um yeah, Daniel only does come out if there's a technical difficulty. Okay, that's right, Christy.
Good
Uh,
for yeah. No
but going
kidding.
back to the Avenge, yeah, man, it's like I kind of like, okay, I heard it and I heard it a couple of times, but I really don't find myself going back to it. Um, and it just it sucks for me at least. But those who like it, man, hey, all the power to them. That's awesome. I'm glad they
Yeah,
do. Glad they like it.
I dig it. I know what you mean. I want to hear some more Slipknot, so I can't wait till they drop some other shit, and hopefully it's more something I can really sink my teeth into.
Yeah,
And but I want to move to something else. Um, I love, or I'm very interested in um, extraterrestrial life. So I want to have a little conversation because I know you got something on your plate in regards to some alien activity, maybe even something going on in Vegas. Tell me
yeah.
more about that, John.
I don't know if you heard. It was last month. It was in May, and it's barely coming to light now. I think like 6 days ago, I think the story broke about a family in Las Vegas that encountered, or supposedly encountered, a UFO crash landing that happened with extraterrestrial beings uh, rolling around in their backyard. And
Oh,
so
I
there's
didn't hear
some.
that.
You
I
didn't
got
hear
to.
about it. Okay, the story goes this family encountered aliens in their backyard, and this one of the younger family members made a like a YouTube video explaining what had happened. And there's even like the 911 dispatch calls going in to let them know that hey, there's 8 to 10 foot beings in our backyard. They got white eyes. They're kind of greenish. I think that's what he said. I think that was the color he had mentioned. They got big heads. This is not a joke. If you guys can send, you know, some patrols out here. And there's even some. It was a separate incident, but there was some body cam footage where you can actually see from his camera something green like going through the sky, you know, just
Yeah.
just going through the sky. And there's a separate video of a front porch video of a ring camera where you actually hear something. So there's like so it's like a crash. All you hear is like
Yeah.
and so minutes later, supposedly that call goes through where that kid and that family, they call police like, hey, we, because it was like, I think it was at midnight, and they were working on their truck in the backyard. They had a truck they were working on, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they heard a big bang. And he said like it got like real, like he got real dizzy, he got real like fuzzy from his vision. And then the
Yeah.
next thing he knew, he was like encountered by some very tall beings. And
Wow.
so Luniverse Airways, that's right, baby. um, and so I think it's like, wow, that's it's intriguing. Um, and I'm kind of interested to
Proud,
see.
dude.
I'm
Oh my.
kind of interested to see what's gonna happen because I was talking to someone on my business route today, and they were
Yeah.
telling me that oh, the family's gone now, or the government took them in for questioning. They're interrogating the family, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
My thing is, they show video of the family at the gate, and they're looking in the backyard. You don't ever see anything, but it's like you never see anything. Like, why don't you ever see anything? What's going on here? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I'm always skeptical.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
just like a part of me is like, there's nothing. Like, what are you guys doing? Okay, you guys got a good story, but then a part of me wants to believe, and that's always been like the push pull. Like growing up in my whole life, it's like when I was small, when I was little. I don't know if you remember that movie Fire in the Sky, that Travis
yeah.
Walton story.
Hell
Dude, that
yeah.
movie tripped me out, bro.
I bet it
It
did.
movie tripped me out. And
Yeah.
so I was a huge believer back in the day. And as I've grown, I'm just kind of like, there's nothing, there's nothing out there. And it's, it's contrary to what most believe. And it's like, oh, come on, how can you not believe in aliens? There's such a vast, space and galaxy and everything out there. I don't know. I'm very spiritual, Tony. So
Yeah.
a lot of that has to do with I like to believe in how special we are. So maybe there isn't anything out there. Maybe God made us who we are, and maybe we should embrace how special we are as a species on a planet that's in turmoil right now. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there's so much shit going on in this world that we're on the verge of annihilation. And you know what I mean? With everything from differences to religion to politics to you know just violence and hate.
Right.
And so like I like to believe that we don't even need to be worrying about what's going on out there. I don't really think there is anything out there. And it might sound bleak and cynical to people, but I really do believe that we're that special as a human race
Yeah.
to, hey man, like we don't like, you know what I mean? It's like
What you mean?
until I see something.
Yeah. In regards to that, or maybe on a different tangent, we are unique. We are very special, and because of that, I feel like the one thing that I've got a fear of artificial intelligence. I've got a fear of that taking away a lot of my friends' jobs.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? I'm afraid of how advanced that can get, and how intellectual these components are that are running things, could be, and might start making decisions as if we're making the fucking Terminator up. It's like fucking. I'm trying to think of the name of the company that blew
It,
up.
it, it was Skynet, right?
Cyberdyne. They built the Skynet.
Cyberdyne, yes, Cyberdyne,
But
yeah,
who is Cyberdyne out there? There's one. I know there is. It exists,
it
and they're
exists.
probably the head of the artificial intelligence world.
And it
And
sucks that we're living a movie right now. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's really happening,
I
and
didn't
it's
think it would happen in my lifetime, bro. I didn't think it would, but a lot of shit is happening so quick
yeah.
that it makes my head spin. And
I just don't. I don't want it to be okay, Tony, to where it's like we go to a show and it's obvious these people because that's in the. I think that's something in the news too, where like musicians aren't even playing their instruments anymore. It's just all backing tracks.
what?
You know what I mean? It's all backing tracks, and like supposedly like drummers don't even drum now. It's all just backtrack, and you know what I mean? Open AI, the makers of Chat GPT. Damn, okay, Woody knows what's up. But I just don't want it to be okay to where like we pay money to go see a show and these players aren't even playing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes, I know what you got,
because
Lee.
it's that way in photography too. Dude, AI is taking over huge in photography and
Damn it.
creativity and things
Yeah,
like that. And you can let it destroy your creativity, or you can use it as a weapon. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's the way I'm looking at AI and the way I'm embracing it. Because
Good, good.
there are some cool, unique, and amazing qualities. It's just how
Good.
you harness that that
Yeah,
resource and how you use it
right.
towards your advantage.
So filling in with finishing what I started with the AI, it's kind of like, man, it's too we're so intelligent that we figure out a way to make our lives more efficient, but through the process of this efficiency that we crave, we also create our own destruction. And I feel like sometimes, just like, we had the great floods of Noah's Ark, that
Mhm.
sometimes God and nature have a way of cleansing things that need cleansing, and the good ones survive, and it creates another civilization of humanity where the intentions are, okay, let's start this over again. Things got kind of spoiled last time, and y'all started a nuclear war against each other, and we've only got this little select bit. So now we're going to start this whole process over again, and God's given us that kind of ability. And I just, I want a better tomorrow for our kids, for yours and mine, and not there to be any kind of turmoil or war that they have to face. I grew up with a freaking Brady Bunch, and I wish life would be like that, but it
Right?
doesn't. So, let's adjust, pivot, stay ahead, do what we need to protect our family and protect, whatever wealth we have, because no one else is going to do it but ourselves. So as men, me and you, having our own kids, our families, it's up to us. So, more power to us, and all you other fathers out there, to just do what you got to do. Take care of your family and always do the right thing. And, everything else falls into place.
Exactly.
But we're hitting about an hour here, and I promise that we're going to be hitting some local shows. So I know we had a little chance to tap into some shows that you're being a part of, like over at Boozers. So let me also tap in to another show that's going to be happening at Boozers real quick. So let me get off and talk about our local shows here on the highlight on the Downbeat. On Monday at Boozers, they have got the Texas Violence Tour, and that's going to fall on June 19th, and it's going to be featuring Crown of Horns and Itami and Canuck. And I sure hope I pronounce those right. Itami or Canuck. It's kind of hard to make out the names, but I'm pretty certain of that. But the headliner is going to be Crown of Horns. So get out there this Saturday. We got Conscientious. We have got Don't Tell Me Kerosene Shores.
Yes.
We've got Centipede, and we've also got Outrage. So that's going Saturday. And then this is going to be going down Monday. Pick your shows, but definitely go check out John. All right, I'll probably see you there. So I'm making plans to be there. So
shout out to Becca and the Outrage. Shout out to Arnulfo and Chacho's Tacos.
Yeah, best tacos in town. And Arnulfo's daughter shreds on guitar for the Outrage. The way to keep it in the family and keep rock alive in Corpus. You did his family. Hell yeah, Mike and Arnulfo. And so let me hit something. Also at the Black Monk coming up on Friday. We got Ty Dites. Ty Dites is going to be hitting the stage at 10 p.m. And then on Saturday, it's going to be the Terror from 210. And that's going to be featuring, I like this name of this band, dude. Check it out. Walter Witotsky and the Dirty Dog Dick Eaters.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So one more time. Walter Witotsky and the Dirty Dog Dick Eaters are headlining. And they've got Burnout coming on before them and Brunt. And then we also got shout out to Steven with the guys in TBA Texas Noise. So it's gonna be an interesting show.
And that was at Black Monk?
That's at the Monk on that's the competition on Saturday.
Okay.
All right. So
there you go. Make sure y'all head out to Black Monk, man. Check out that show.
You got it. There's enough of us to get around. Let's just all get out and support our music in all these venues. Here's another one. At the House of Rock on Saturday. During the day, I'm always about health. I love to run. So the Stash Dash is going on starting at 8 a.m. that morning. Get there early to register, and you can register online if you go to texashouseofrock.com. But the great thing about the Stash Dash is that it's 5K run, and also Thomas J. Henry is sponsoring a 1K run for the kids. And all the proceeds are going towards getting bikes for kids.
Oh,
and you
awesome.
get your shirt, you get to run the race, and you get a medal. It's a great cause, and it's a fun little morning thing. There's refreshments afterwards. So everybody, House of Rock, thanks for supporting this. Thomas J. Henry and everybody involved with Stash Dash. Keep up the great work and doing the great work for the kids of CC. Very nice thing they do.
Shout out to Casey and House of Rock, man. And Thomas J. Henry. I don't know what it is, bro. Thomas J. Henry. Dude, I don't know. Every time that commercial comes on TV, dude, my two sons just like he's a superhero. I think it's the music of his commercials, bro. They're like, Thomas J. It's like, what?
He's like, that's the man. That's the man. Well, let me get to one more show over here at the House of Rock on Monday, June 19th. They got Alisana, and they're going to be coming with the Trilogy Tour Part 2. And that's going to be featuring the band called Limbs and Vampires Everywhere,
Okay.
and Across the White Water Tower. That was an interesting name for a band right there, Across the White Water Tower. So that tour, the trilogy tour with Alessandra headlining, is going to be at the House of Rock on Monday. And like we were talking about the guys from Slam Master Booking, I reached out for Andrew earlier before we did the show, and I said, hey, man, you got some shows coming up. I want to give you guys some props. So getting started June 21st, Slam Master Booking has Secrets with Outline and Color and Versity, and also Nerve and Indigo and Tilled at Boozer. And that's going to be the college tour over at Boozers with Secrets on June 21st. And then June 25th over at Boozers, we're going to be at Narcotic Wasteland, heavy duty. Narcotic Wasteland with Votan, Rob, Episode Rob, and all the guys from Votan, still grinding hard. Hell on the Bill, and that's featuring Pete and my boy Alfred Ariola. Alfred and the guys are going to keep kicking ass with Holy Hell. And also my bro, who's also a neighbor of mine, the guitar player and singer from Summoning Beyond the Grave. Oh, goddamn, name slips my mind, man. I want to say it's Art, but very cool fucking band, heavy duty band. And then our bros from Scar the World, Oscar and Dillo, and we got Hoop vocals, OJ on drums. And
shout out Oscar, shout out OJ, shout out Dillo, and all them Scar the World. Yeah, bro, those are legends right there too.
And new heavy hitters that have been jamming almost every weekend, every show they can get is Womb Rot. So shout out to the guys at Womb Rot kicking that show off.
Shout out to my boy John. Shout out to my boy Edward of Womb Rot. Those guys are hot right off the oven, bro. Those guys are good, man. So
that's gonna be a good one, man. So other than that, I've got one more show that's gonna be a really good one you don't want to miss. And it's going to be at the House of Rock this time for Slam Master Bookings on June 28th. And it's going to be with Through the Eyes of the Dead. They're finally returning. They've got Warforged with them and Tracheotomy and A Means to an End. And also Radio Flyer is going to be opening up that show on June 28th, Through the Eyes of the Dead. So heavy fucking duty show. Slam Master for everything you're doing. It awesome.
Where's that show
at? That one's going to be at the House of Rock.
House of Rock, okay, cool.
June 28th. You know, depending on the volume, the expectation of the crowd, whether it's Boozers, whether the House of Rock, whether it's going to be at the Clark Grove Beer Garden, Slam Master always is keeping people busy, keeping the bands rocking, and bringing some badass entertainment.
Yeah.
So, I think other than that, you know, I wanted just to mention, I talked about the Young Classics over there. And other than that, just want to shout out Rock and Roll Flea Market, Cat House, Ralph Davila. Keep up the great work and sharing those bad collectibles. The next one is going to be the second Saturday of July, and that might be July 9th, and I might be in Wyoming. I'm going to go check out the super volcano at Yellowstone National Park. So I'm looking forward. Yeah, dude. So check that out. It's going to be my vacation, but they're going to be Seventh Son, which is an Iron Maiden tribute band with my brother Marcel Beal on drums, and they've got that show during the day, and then Marcel's having his birthday show over at the Black Monk later that night with two of his cover bands. One's a Saxon tribute band, and then Seventh Son is going to play also. So it's going to be a great weekend right there, July 8th, July 9th, and that's what I got. John, how do you want to finish?
You and Lori enjoy that trip, man, to Yellowstone. That's gonna be awesome. You guys gonna take the kids, or is it just gonna be you?
Well, my got her own gig going on. She's assistant manager over at Ashley. So if you guys need some furniture, go ask for Ashley Gomez over at Ashley Furniture.
Ashley Gomez, man, y'all hit up Ashley Gomez at the furniture store and get what you need. That's awesome.
You know, and my son, he's going to be making the trip with us. So yeah, we're going to have it's just the three of us, and we're looking forward to it. I love the mountains, love, you know, doing some hiking, and you know, I'm all hyped about that super volcano, dude. There's like another spot that's got some badass geysers, and man, I'm into wildlife, dude. You know, I'm only get away one time this year, so I want to get some mountains and you know, breathe in that real fresh, you know.
You guys gonna fly? Or you guys gonna drive?
We're gonna fly, man. We're
You're
gonna
gonna
fly.
fly.
We're taking
Okay.
United and we're taking American Airlines, and
Cool.
we bought
Cool.
our ticket last weekend, so it's set in stone. We're gonna make it
Safe
happen.
travels, man. Safe travels, and I'm interested to see. Maybe we can do something when you come back. You know what I mean, and get a vacation wrap on everything that you did up there. But
That's John. Yeah, dude. I always kind of thought like I definitely have got some Clark Griswold in me. That's
yeah,
I got it, man, and I won't be ashamed of.
cool.
I'm proud of it. And Christmas time, I'm wearing my Christmas vacation shirt because hey,
Nice,
that's time for me to be my Clark Griswold. So making
nice.
those vacations like that, I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. For
Hey,
better.
before I leave too, man, it just I wanted to real quick too. I'm doing another
Yeah,
project as if I haven't like I don't have enough. I have enough, but
sure.
I'm doing
Yeah.
another project with Sal from South Texas Media. I think I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure, but we're gonna cut a couple of tracks here next weekend, June 25th at Harbor City, and
Wow.
yeah, that could. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I got amnesia. I'm sorry, but Sal Corruptor, man, he's
Yeah.
from South Texas, and we got Mike Liao on bass, and we got Benjamin Salinas on guitar, and so we're gonna go in and cut a couple of tracks, and it's real fun, man. We're doing like horror themed, Halloween themed covers that we're doing. So we're gonna go in and do a couple of covers, man. I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys, man. It's been a minute since we've gotten together and practice, but every time we get together, it's always fun times and it's always unique. And shout out to those guys and shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my boy Hector and Frank and Woody and my boy Tommy and Frank again because he's in that band and
Yes.
Mike Perez and everybody that was in this chat, man. Shout out to my boy Woody. Man, I love Woody to death, man. That dude is he's a shining light in a time of my life that not many people um have had an impact like he has in my life, man. So I just want to give a moment to just give a shout out to him, man. He's always understanding and he's always has an answer for or tries to give the best answer for whatever question I have, man. So I just want to say I love you, Woody, and shout out to Chrissy. I see Chrissy in here. Yeah, women aren't that bad either, man. Actually, women make the world go round. If it weren't for women, we wouldn't be shit. So,
Right. We do everything we do for women. Yes.
yeah, shout out to all the bands out there. Shout out to the photographers out there, man. There's some great up and coming photographers. Y'all look up Crotate, man. Jorge Carrillo, man. He's an upcoming photographer, and he's out there filming and snapping a lot of the bands that are going out there. Crotate on Instagram, and my boy Jay once again in Houston, man. Jay Villa, he's in that lowrider scene, and Eric
Cool.
Alanis and just my boy Eric Pena. He's doing his lucid visions, and just dude,
Oh,
I'm in love with the photographers, man. That's the thing. And shout out to my whole family. Tony, shout out to you, the Tony Gomez Show, Daniel Adame Productions, and everybody in the scene, man. I love you guys.
hell yeah. That's what I love to hear, man. Can you guys hear all that love? Man, I tell you, that's why I got to have John on the show, man, because I need that kind of love in return, man. And
Hey,
he's willing.
I'm glad you're feeling it.
Yes, absolutely, man. And I need that. And you guys, he means it. So all you friends and all you family members and band members that are now family members, you guys are blessed to have John in your life. I know I'm blessed to have him in my life. And all the other guys that surround you are good people, man. Matt came up to me at the El Nino show and I was at the bar. He goes, "Hey, what's up?" And I've never talked to Matt before, man, but he came up and he wanted to say hi. And I couldn't help but tell him, "Hey, man, you got time for another band?" And he goes, I told him, I said, I love to jam with the best guys in town. And you know what?
He's
You are one of them, and I haven't had a chance to jam with you yet. And he goes, "Dude, I'd love to. I tell you what about the Christmas show?" And he goes, "Dude, count me in." So
dude, yes.
he's going to be in the Christmas show this year.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome. That's
Yeah.
so awesome, man.
So
So
all that love, man, you know what I mean? It's comes together at the best time of the year when we all need it. That magic's there. So it's gonna be great to have Matt be a part of that magic too. Hell
yes,
yes.
sir. Real quick, I'm sorry too. It just hit me too, man. The rap community and rap world was stunned with one a couple of days ago, man. I believe his name was Richard Trevino. He was from that Dark Street crew. I think his Nightmares, 90 Nightmares, and he passed away suddenly. And so I think they're gonna be throwing a benefit for him tomorrow night at Rich's. Raymond from Quixotic and This Dying Dream. Yeah, he was real good friends with Richard Trevino, and so they're gonna have performances. I think it's just sign up, man. I think actually Shy One might show up and do a couple of songs. My old keyboardist Mondo, shout out to Mondo. So they're gonna be doing that at Rich's tomorrow. I don't know the times, but I'm pretty sure they made an event on Facebook. Check it out. My heart goes out to him and his family and everybody in the community and the underground rap scene. And man, prayers and thoughts to you guys, man.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, right. You guys go out there and support. Go out there and have a couple of beers. Check out the music. Make a little donation or something for Richard Trevino's family. Much love and my condolences to his family and friends. Yeah. Hope the event is successful tomorrow, and I appreciate you bands jumping in there and showing some love.
Yes, sir.
All right, John. Till next time. All right, we're gonna get you back here on the show, and see you on Saturday. And to all of our watchers tonight, we love you all. Appreciate you, and we'll see you again next time. And that's gonna do it for the Downbeat. Appreciate you, Daniel. If you need any help with your productions, hit up Daniel at Downbeat Productions. And if you need help, get into touch with him. Hit me up, all right? Appreciate you, Daniel. Love you, John. We'll see you next time on the Downbeat. Good night and keep grinding.
Keep grinding, people. Love y'all. Later.
Love you.
Woo!